although Marsborne have impressed us. I think they're playing at a level that is higher than we thought they would, but they're facing the true test of this closed qualifier, which, you know, any team that wants to get through it and find a way to the main event will probably have to do, and that's playing against NRG.
Yeah, if you want to beat champions, you've got to beat the champion, and we'll see if they have the tools to get that job done. We saw a fantastic Marsborne Ancient in their opening best of 3. Now we'll see what happens when they play up against stiffer competition. We're into our match of the day between NRG and Marsborne. We start on the swampy waters of Ancient, with NRG starting on that CT side. Couple pairs of dual Berettas between Grim and Halzerk. And it's actually the USP of Sonic to start things off.
It's actually interesting because NRG, their most picked up right now in terms of pick percentage is, in fact, Ancient. So we'll see how this one goes. Grizz going to get a couple of openers here, but it's back and forth we go. And then Grizz finds himself at third. He was really what kept Marsborne in things yesterday on Mirage and allowed them to have the recovery, because without it could have been a map 1 loss, honestly. So we'll see if he can do the same here for Marsborne today against a much tougher opponent.
Well, things look good to start things off right now. Solid work there from Grizz. And it's in these clutch situations where I feel like Marsborne have been very comfortable. They understand how to play off of one another. If there's just one player left up in the clutch, they know how to occupy themselves. And Marsborne do not give one over to Halzerk. Definitely a scary guy to be up against in the clutch, considering the work that he's already shown in the early goings of this tournament.
Yeah, certainly. But pistol round, it's something for Marsborne to get here. Securing against the NRG squad. Looking at pistol round victories on Ancient, though, it's actually really good win percentage for Marsborne coming into this one. 9 out of 12 pistol rounds were won for a 75% pistol round win percentage, and now it's 10 out of 13, so it got even better. Looking at the VRS forecast, though, NRG would only lose 1 ranking if they fall here, but Marsborne, well, Marsborne have a lot more to gain, let's say, with a win against NRG.
The USPs are that 1 P250 from Grim Flash to basically look for a pop through the smoke. We met with a number of T's. Here it comes. Flicks back over. Wumbo, OG, Wizard, Nyx, everyone chiming in to get a little bit of that sweet eco action. As Marsborne get themselves to that clean anti-eco, or nearly clean anti-eco. And now lock in to see how this series will shape up with this gun round building.
Don't forget, guys, to check out Lorgar if you're looking for a gaming PC, because they've got some incredibly nice ones. And, of course, huge thanks to them for providing those nice PCs for the main event here at the StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. Grizz going to get a couple of openers here, and oh my goodness, he is not missing a beat at all. NRG stifled in their attempt to take mid control, and this is their first gun round, but it's falling flat already.
It absolutely is. Halzerk will catch the butt of Grizz on the way out. Wumbo's instantly there for the trade. Sticks around for a bit too long, I'd argue, and pay the price. Oh, that's bold from Grim, charging through the Molotov at his feet. Nitro does have a kid up, but is very far away, and will have to take a difficult duel down Banana. And decides to think better of it. He'll save this AK. And Marsborne start the party off right. 3-0 start. Huge 2-piece from Grizz. And NRG surely have to be woken up in a quick jolt after the results of these first 3 rounds.
Yeah, and not forgetting, that was a bonus round for Marsborne too, and they might be able to upgrade some guns here towards mid. I have to imagine that's the idea. One of those guns has been grabbed away. Oh, Freshie dies to the bomb. That's not great. It'll be 3-0 for Marsborne, though. they're happy with this start. In fact, they should be thrilled because they just shut down the first gun round for NRG.
Oh, just nice to see that spray transfer again, isn't it?
Yeah.
This feels like Grizz needs to be that guy to be on the scene when it comes to this upper semi. I do feel like when the big matches come through that he does disappear a little bit, and having this hot start from him is so awesome to see, and it's going to continue with another big entry here up in mid. Now Nitro's got to be up to bat.
You kind of expect NRG to eventually awaken here. They had a slow start to yesterday's BO3 as well. Just barely eking out a win on map number 1. Then the second map looked way better. But here, Nitro and Grim are doubling up in Jag. But the hit's going A. And they're leaning away from this A side or NRG. I mean, at this stage, if you don't catch them going towards the site, then you might as well save. And George is in a tough spot. He's gone. 5-7 loss. Grim does manage to get one. Upgrades himself to an AK, but the flank is coming in. Nick's going to likely take care of one. And the other one is dropped by Wumbo after Halzer gets freshy. So, 4-0 in favor of Marsborne.
Now, the question is, you know, you did have that slow start against Iowa Stormboar, and you were granted a way back in against lesser competition. Are you going to be let back into this game by a team like Marsborne? Like, you really do have to get locked in, and funnily enough, the map winner prediction from State Gods instantly now favor Marsborne all of a sudden. You want to put your money where your mouth is. There is that weekly reload of $35. Using code STAR35, so get involved for this hotly contested best of 3.
NRG need to get involved with this best of 3, to be honest, now, because they haven't been doing much of anything. Halzer's got 3, but there's only 4 combined in terms of kills for the rest of the squad. That needs to change, and fast. Should have this. Yes, he does. Nix is gone. Let's see if one will get the trade. No. Nitro supporting gets himself a 3-piece. Captain America puts up his shield and denies any further entry to Marsborne towards mid. There's the first for NRG with authority.
That's what you're looking for, and it does feel like whenever the going gets tough for any of these NRG rosters, it's always Nitro to kind of pull them and wake them back up and get things started yet again. And I do feel like this might be the start of something new.
No, I do agree with you. And he's got that capability, right? He doesn't have to. When the rest of the team's rocking along, he just kind of is happy to sit in the back line, set them up with flashbangs and utility. But when he needs to, like you said, he steps up to the plate and delivers. Grim going to get one here onto Nix. Traded up by OG Wizard. Very fast play from Marsborne, trying to adjust here. Nitro's going for the spam through the wall and doesn't really connect on much of anything. In fact, he's the one who takes damage. And George gets his head taken off by Wumbo. This is going well for Marsborne. Bomb planted. And in the post plant, I don't think there's a path back in for NRG.
And I do like the bounce back here from Marsborne. I feel like when big individual performances come from the favorite, the underdog kind of turtles up and refuses to start or stop playing their game. And this time around, Marsborne, they followed through. Completely catches NRG off guard. No opportunity really for any of these anchors to get settled into the round. And Marsborne will take themselves their 5th. I mean, there's a great game plan in place here for the underdogs here, and they're playing it to perfection as of right now.
It's up to NRG to really break through that game plan, right? Like, they have to adapt. They're the seasoned veterans. They're the ones that should be able to adjust and start to make some noise. They did it yesterday, like you said, against Iowa Stormboar, but Marsborne are a tougher customer. They may not yield the same amount of space. They won't yield the same amount of space and recovery that Iowa Stormboar did. That's for sure. We're going to take some early damage. Halzerk has his op out. That could change things. It already does. Halzerk connects on the first shot against Freshie. And a 5v4 instantly materializes. Nick's trying to work his way out of those B double doors. And there's a couple of smokes still up, so he can move in if he wants to, and he will.
Grizz now making the rotation over, but in the meantime, Nitro takes down any bit of presence that the Marsborne side had on the B side. So now they have to reclaim it basically with time, essentially, and they're going to maneuver back in, do it dry, and Nitro spots the shoulder, backs away. Grizz will still try to fill that void, and George might have seen a head or two, but either way, Grizz will now take that first contact, and surely the rotations come through swiftly. Here's an opportunity at trades all over the shop, and Grizz still finds two. Grizz with 13 HP, and you need just a little bit more out of him. That nade is nice to kick open the smoke, but look at this aggression there from OG Wizard. What? Oh my goodness, Halzerk stops the plant straight through the pillar. OG Wizard was looking to potentially twist the knife, but now he's got to do it all on his own. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Sonic has made the rotation up through Cave. What a shot from Halzerk.
Not only, okay, first of all, not only is it through the wall, he has no visibility on him. He knows someone's trying to plant, but it's through the wall into the head. Overkill with the AWP, and at the perfect time when pressure could have been applied by Marsborne and things were getting a little dicey. Whew! Beautiful lineup. That is just practiced time and time again, and then that practice pays off when you're in the match. What also pays off, guys, is having an ATK gear, a mouse by your side, and you can have one if you enter the giveaway and you win, which that giveaway is happening right now. You can scroll down, click the banner below, and enter. Sonic will get a 2K. He self-flashed himself out, I believe, and he gets Grizz and Wombo, and he survives afterwards. Nitro help and support him, and he will get taken down as a result, but Grim, they don't expect the double man setup. Grim gets himself a two-piece too, and it will be OG Wizard, the last one standing. NRG have activated.
You can say that again. That definitely feels like a different roster now. A couple of big moments, and good odd there, maybe 4-3. Either way, it does feel like Halzerk, wherever he goes, you know, he's a bit up and down in terms of the output that you're getting out of him, but sometimes he can just give you one or two plays to really kickstart a roster back up, and that's all it's got to be. You know, you look to Nitro, you look to Halzerk to be those guys, and from there on out, that's where, you know, Grim can get involved, Sonic can get involved, and of course, the reintroduction of George as well. But you're starting to see the fruits of those two's labors at this point. And Marsborne will rightfully, I believe, take a timeout. I feel like they should be taking a timeout at this point with the clawback.
Yeah, you got to talk things over because, you know, NRG, you leave the window open just a crack, they're going to slip their hands right in and slam it open. And that's exactly what's happened here. Round number 9. Nothing really for Marsborne to work with, and NRG are likely going to feast. Sonic, in fact, burns Wombo to a crisp with the Molotov, and oh no, missed shot for Halzerk. Means that 3 players can slip in. Sonic's trying to support, and Halzerk does as well off of the flashbang from George. This is a well-oiled machine you're seeing right now in terms of the coordination, and Grim won't miss the shots. No one dies, and NRG will get a 4th easily.
Yeah, and that's the benefit of having Halzerk on this roster. He doesn't have to be the star. He doesn't have to nail every shot. There's plenty of people that can pick up the slack on this team, as you notice there. And all's well for NRG on this comeback. Still a little bit more work to do. I think in their minds they would like to get the remaining 3 rounds of play and make that T side a little bit easier on themselves. But of course, the guns have now come back out for Marsborne. Needs up on a freshie as they try to scale up and take some mid-control. But Nyx has spotted Sonic on the edges of that smoke. That's a nice little 5v4 and mid-control established for this T side.
I don't know that Sonic was aware of how far out they were. Now Chris got a good angle. There's one. And a second gained by OG Wizard after Freshie falls. So a great trade leads to a 4v2 in favor of Marsborne. Still George and Halzerk alive, and neither bomb site having been taken yet by Marsborne leaves that inkling of doubt in their minds as to which direction they should go in. NRG not necessarily stacked up on either bomb site. George is going to have a peek towards mid. He might be able to catch someone unaware. We'll see. Oh no, they're watching him right around this corner and destroy him. There you go. Grizz has got that on under lock and key. And Halzerk will be the last one. He's going to save the op. This round will go Marsborne's way.
So plenty of cash to chew through for NRG, and they'll be okay with how this game has started. And if, you know, they can
Is Halzerk going?
inch closer, I don't think so. There's just no way. I have no idea why I switched over to Deagle as well. Like, is there no bullets in the AK? Okay, there's 15. Come on, you can work with that. Switches back over. Maybe he's gonna have a look in. Maybe play for exits. Oh, this feels not ridiculous. He's got 12k in the bank, but how much damage he's taking, he'll back away now. And I think they've got so much money that he doesn't have to keep the AWP. So Marsborne take a little bit of damage economically on the way out. And Halzer gets out with an AK-47.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Definitely, because he's got all that money. He's going to drop an AK. An AK is more valuable in the op when you've got so much money in the bank. So he can drop that over for his teammates and go right back to the big green. But yeah, on the side of Marsborne, a great recovery to get that 6th under their belts. And you're going to see the stake odds dead even right now, as you would kind of expect given what we've seen so far. And if you want to get that $35 bonus, you just have to use code STAR35 and deposit $20. Afterwards, you'll get $5 for the next 7 days. No grinding, no gimmicks, just a steady reload all week long at stake. All right. Grim's hiding in the smoke. They've gone past you, Grim. Just turn around, look the other way. You've got a huge flank. Is he going to have the opportunity to have an impact, though? Because they're moving pretty fast. If they get through Jonah before Grim gets here, it's going to be free real estate. And yeah, he gets there and takes a shot. Finds Grizz, needs a follow-up, won't get it, but Sonic helps on the other side. So in the end, his presence is enough to disrupt.
Yeah, that was huge work there from Grim, but great proactivity from Sonic as well to come through. But look at Nyx. He's done everything on the A bomb site. He leaves it all up to Nitro. Still plenty of time to get that bomb to dirt. And Nitro doesn't have a kit either. There's one on the ground right there that he can pick up. He's gonna have to take some hard duels. He spotted one out in Temple, tries to pre-fire the angle, but doesn't know where that second player has gone off to. Just a quick double swing available, but the tray transfer is unreal from Nitro. Oh my goodness, how has he pulled that one off? Unreal work there from the captain once again, and he has to be the MVP for this team right now.
No, we have to see that again. I hope we can see that again. That was ridiculous. I thought they were done. I didn't think there was a chance that Nitro would be able to clutch that out. Just the way Nyx got into that situation, like you see his headshot on towards Sonic and Halzerk, you're like, okay, we don't get to see it. Oh, that's so unfortunate. But Nitro did incredible work to turn that away from a 7th round for Marsborne and a lead into the second half to a 5th round for NRG. Still enough money for Marsborne to get a respectable buy-up, but that is huge for NRG after coming out and they were down 5-0 to start this out, and now they've got 5 themselves. First frag goes Halzerk's way. Freshie gets the trade. Back and forth we go. Oh my goodness, a flurry of frags, and after the dust settles, it is a 2v1 for Marsborne. Grim, the last one alive here to try and do what his captain did in the previous round. And he won't be able to. Grim shut down, yep, as we head to the break. All right, we're back into it here, getting ready for that second half of play. Tied up at 6-6. Both these teams going at it against each other, but honestly, it's been NRG who deserve a lot of the props because they were down by a lot. And once more, for a second consecutive day, they are finding their second gear.
Yeah, it just feels like they've kind of cobbled together those 5 rounds. It's not the prettiest in terms of how they were able to do it, but they're here. They're still within touching distance, within claiming a potential tie game.
Yes.
As you saw from our stake odds previously, like it is razor tight in terms of which way this one's gonna go.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a slight edge gained by Marsborne at the end of that first half. Now NRG are looking for a pistol, and then they get the conversion. They're all tied up. Marsborne want none of that. They want to have another dominating pistol round of their own. Grizz going to get aggressive in the direction of and OG Wizard, is going to get that first one, and Grizz is traded out. OG Wizard's doing work, 3K with the dualies, 4v2, just like that. NRG trying to storm into the bomb site and get the plant. I don't think they have the bomb. Yes, they do. It is going to get planted here. So that's money at least, but they want the round. Can they recover? Halzerk has been clutch. Can he be clutch here with the Glock in his hands?
Oh, big play there in terms of the dink. Heavy damage done across the board, but Halzerk and Nitro need to do even more. Now it's just Nitro. Can he clutch up one more time? Take some significant damage, and this aim punch from the dual Berettas continue to push him back closer and closer to death. And as he falls, Marsborne will collect themselves a pistol. Another pistol, mind you, and he will inch closer and closer to try and claim their own map pick. Tough situation for NRG now when you take into consideration that they've lost these 2 pistols. Yes, you've had these clutch moments to pull them back, but you're running out of leeway here in this opening map. You have gone in for the force buy here. You'll have these Galils to really do some damage. Deep balling into front Jag allows a lot of space here for Halzerk and Grim to work. That smoke will dissuade them from going any further. Shots from Halzerk should suggest to the CT side of what's on the other end. Maybe they turtle up a little bit more because of it.
Freshie waiting here on the B site. 3 players, in fact, soon to be 4 for Marsborne will be stacking up on the B site. They've got the read. Grim is trying to slip through Red Room right now. That could yield something, but it's being watched. I mean, it feels like Marsborne have got the beat on exactly what NRG are throwing their way. Now who's going to win the duels, and looks like it's going to be Marsborne decisively. Freshie with 2, Nyx with another. NRG can't seem to do anything so far in this second half. This force buy gets completely nullified. No casualties on the side of NRG, on the side of Marsborne just yet, but now Nitro gets 2. No way he clutches this one. This will be a 1v5 ace clutch for the captain. Flash going to get tossed. He should get blindsided here, and he does. There you go. Wumbo takes care of business. It will be Marsborne continuing their hot form here to kick off the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just perfectly timed in terms of that double swing. It was completely dry, mind you, so there isn't a player that, okay, he maybe has to play anti there. That's just a raw duel being taken. Confidence from Marsborne and the individuals that they have on the other end of the server. And defensively, they are holding so strong. Of course, big shout out to Lorgar, our PC sponsors for StarLadder. You will see at the main event as we jump into round number 15.
NRG can't keep playing down on the back foot. They struggled yesterday in the first map as well. Trying to pick up pistol rounds, trying to get momentum. The same thing's happening today. And again, Dust2's not a sure thing for them either. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that still as they're going into it. Last time they played it was July 12th against SBE, and they only won 16-14.
Very worrying signs here brewing for NRG. Still a little bit of more work before Marsborne can really get excited about a map victory. Freshie spots out a number of players out in cave. Lets loose with that MP9, and Nyx is also there. This tandem is working so much magic on this B side. And Freshie is just doing it all with an SMG. It's fantastic to see the captain not only take a hit in terms of the weaponry, but still look fantastic doing so.
We'll see if Marsborne can keep it up now. 10-5 is a nice lead to have. NRG have been in this position before. They've been on the other side as well. But you've seen those stake odds are heavily favoring Marsborne now, and if you want to get on the action and pick your favorite, you can use a Star 35 to get a weekly $35 reload. You get $5 for the next 7 days when you deposit 20 in your account. You get it 7 days straight, no grinding, no gimmicks, just a steady reload all week long at stake with, again, code Star 35. Number 16, Grimm's going to get the opener this time. NRG storming in towards the A site. Grizz is still alive, though. He can be a thorn in your side. He is going to get Grimm to trade it out. Bomb should still be planted, but they can't feel comfortable just yet. Great incendiary tossed in, or I should say Molotov. Grizz comes around and still gets another one before he dies, and Wumbo strikes onto Halzerk, and all this time, the bomb can't be planted. Not only that, it's down right outside of Donut. Oh no, George is on B2. Like, he might be able to act on the flank, but I don't think he'll... No, yeah, Sonic's dead.
It doesn't matter.
Jeez.
And now, I mean, he can try to hustle here, but it's going to be a little too late. I like the idea of certainly, yeah. I mean, it looks exciting in terms of the flank if the site hit works, but now it just looks a little foolish. I'll try his hand to maybe take a gun or two away, but this one seems doomed. Marsborne constantly trying to disrupt. 20 seconds left on the clock, and that smoke is brilliantly timed. Actually does give some safe haven for George to pick up the bomb, but he can't plant it. There's no time to run to B. He definitely can't go into that crossfire on A. So Marsborne, man, these late round situations have been absolutely sublime from top to bottom. I feel like every time the site hit comes, they know the proper protocol to make sure that they can come out on top.
Yeah, all the cogs are fitting in place perfectly, right? For Marsborne, everyone's doing their job, no reliance on any one individual, and you can see that both through the kills and even the ADR. Evenly distributed across the entire squad, you know, versus NRG, who haven't really been able to hit that second gear since that first half towards the tail end when they got those 5 rounds in a row, or 4 rounds in a row, I should say. So, yeah, Marsborne looking like the stronger squad here on Ancient by a good margin. I don't want to count NRG out of it yet, but I mean, even this force buy doesn't yield that much confidence because, sure, you have 5 rifles, 3 Galils, 2 AKs, but your utility is far from full versus Marsborne, who are flush with cash, and they've got everything they could possibly want, OG Wizard especially, on the AWP versus Halzerk, who's been just having to rifle most of the time. You want him to get on that big green soon. And I don't know that it's going to happen on Ancient unless things turn around dramatically. What? 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 Why does George just die? I guess he got hit by a nade or something and he slowed
I don't know.
Up. That was
very
weird.
Strange. I think it might have been a nade molly combo, but there's the fact that there's no firefighting smoke to be dropped by the NRG member is very concerning. They have been able to waltz out onto this A site, though, the remaining 3 players, and Grizz has been jiggling this whole time. Eventually he'll spot out someone. At least he's calming it over now. The donut has been smoked, and so is Spawn. This nade going to kick open CT Spawn, but it doesn't go deep enough, so Wumbo can't get involved. Still a 3-on-5 that NRG can hold strong with the Wumbo straight through the smoke. Beautiful spam onto Halzerk, the guy that you want in the post plant. And OG Wizard has cut down another. It's all up to Sonic in a 1-on-4, and he can't do anything. This is just going from bad to worse here for Marsborne, or for NRG rather. For Marsborne, it's going peachy keen. This is everything you could ask for from them.
I can understand your brain going in that direction though, because of who's playing here with NRG and the scoreline that we've got. I think they're a little stunned, as you can see with the webcams. They don't know what's hit them. And well, what has hit them is Marsborne, a team that's come here ready to play, ready for their chance to qualify for this main event. And should they upset NRG in this map, it's one step in absolutely a big, right direction. It's also another step in the right direction. If you're using an ATK gear mouse, you've in fact got 8 of them to give away right now. Click the banner below, just scroll down on the stream, click the banner below to enter that stream for your chance to win one of those really sick mice. All right, Marsborne, they've got a chance to win this map here. 7 opportunities. Nyx gets the first, but Nitro and Halzer come back for a couple. Take down Freshie and Nyx. They're gonna need 7 in a row to push overtime.
They absolutely will. This is a tough test for them, and they don't want anything to do with it. I'm gonna back all the way up, and with that, NRG will live to tell the tale a little bit longer.
I mean, yesterday it took overtime on Nuke for NRG to beat Iowa Stormboar, and in that situation they were down 12-9. This is a very, very different circumstance against a much tougher team. Certainly, I mean, I've said it probably twice before now, they've got it in them. They can recover here. But I just don't feel like Marsborne are going to give them the opportunity, 7 opportunities in a row to get this done, and they're managing their economy well. Even with that big cushion, they're making sure that the guns continue getting carried over and they don't take unnecessary risks and give too big of a window to NRG.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see that the protocol is in place, right, to make this team work as well as it does. And of course, it's always going to be easier to play from ahead, but it's just the fact that they're able to string all of this together without ever really taking any hitches in it. That's so much more impressive to me. Like, everything looks like very well drilled so far, but hey, there's still a lot of work to be done in some senses. With Sonic and Grim are still firing away, not willing to give up this map without a fight.
This is wild. We'll see what OG Wizard can do. There's the first shot. Can he chamber another round? Yes, he can. He's got the second. Looking for the third. OG Wizard with a 3-piece takes that 4v2 and picks it apart. George, the last one standing, as Marsborne are pulling out all the stops to put NRG 6 feet under on Ancient. George, the last one, and OG Wizard with the quad kill. What a round from him. The youngster celebrating with the rest of the squad, as they have certainly gotten a fantastic upset victory on Nuke.
I mean, that's just massive from OG Wizard. This is the guy that has been touted within North America. 3. They want to test out Dust2, but what a time for them to have to do it when they've got their first life in this tournament on the line.
Yeah, and I mean, look, should NRG lose here, I feel like the lower bracket's going to be in for a lot of trouble, because, you know, you're back a line against the wall and they're going to pounce. We'll see what happens here. It's not over yet. It's not over yet, but it's not looking good for NRG as we go to Dust2 here, which is their map pick.
Well, they get to set the tempo, NRG, to start things off. Full belt of util for Nitro. Mid smoke is through. Aggression in, though, from Marsborne. They, again, want to keep up that pressure that they built up in map number 1. But NRG, after tossing all that utility, or at least the initial bits, have not said anything yet. Now it's Grim, who's got to find a way to nail some of these shots. Really labored to start things off, and Grizz somehow finds the necessary kills, but look at Wumbo go on the B site. Huge work from him, and this molly has not spread at all. Freshie still alive from the big box, but finally Nitro meets the mark. Nitro guarding Sonic as this bomb goes down. But Grizz and Nyx hot on their heels. Nyx making it all the way through the tunnels, but isn't aware about the player on car. It leaves it all up to Grizz. Just a couple bullets left in the chamber, and Sonic will secure it. It's ugly, it's grimy, but NRG start off on the right foot.
Finally, a pistol round to celebrate there for NRG to open up a map. So that's going to help them out. But that was very close to falling apart. I thought Grizz was going to get it because he's been so clutch for this Marsborne squad. But NRG do indeed find a way to victory, and Marsborne want nothing to do with a force buy. They're just going to stack up the B site with USPs, might even charge into the tunnels. Yeah, that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to catch NRG off guard. They're playing exactly for this. And they will do a decent chunk of damage to Nitro. Finds George, and then Nitro's like, yeah, bye. 3 frags simultaneously. A Molotov frag in the mix as well, and Freshie will fall by the wayside. Clean quad for the captain.
Exactly what you're looking for. It could have gone a little more hairy than that, but NRG stay up with 4 alive, but here comes the buy out on Marsborne's side of things. No AWP for OG Wizard, but we've seen him still flourish with the rifle throughout the series so far. Of course, if you want to flourish with your game, you can definitely check out Lorgar PCs. I'm going to give a special shout out to them sponsoring the tournament. You will see those PCs at the main event in a little bit. But into the action yet again. Round number 3. Marsborne looking to bounce back. Nice little nade there from Grizz. Chunking down Nitro just a little bit. Got another nade there. I like the little setup, but doesn't find its mark just yet.
Nick's gonna get 1. Sonic trades it out. Marsborne would love to get on the board early here. Not let NRG build up too big of a lead. And Grizz takes some authority there towards Cat and gets 2 and a third afterwards, peering down into mid. Oh man, when you need some help, Grizz is the man for the job if you're Marsborne. Sonic, the last one available, a 3v1 and bomb control in Marsborne's hands.
I feel like he's hitting another gear now, John. Just not missing a beat on some of these sequences, and you've really got to thread the needle in all of those kills, and if any of that goes wrong, he's a dead man walking. But Grizz looks so sharp right now, but so does Sonic. Nice little tap there, and he finds another one on a Grizz. He's got a real shot at clutching up here. Smoke down into the middle of the map. OG Wizard surely has been heard. He's gonna keep gunning for that B site. A little bit of a spam to push him back just temporarily, but NRG do have an opportunity with Sonic here, a 1-on-3 in total, and he's caught OG Wizard, and you think that the crosshair placement is there, but OG Wizard with some more impact here in this series.
His first kill of Dust2 is an important one. Wow, Sonic, I thought he had that. That's crazy that he was even in a position to get a bomb plant and be in a 1v1, but he did it all himself. Especially after this, Grizz pops around the corner on Cat, gets those 2, and then finds Nitro. Beautiful work from Sonic to at least get a bomb plant and be in a position to clutch, but it just doesn't pan out. Marsborne on the board, but it's an expensive round for them. So they have to settle for a couple of MP9s here, 2 M4s, and the saved AK that OG Wizard brings into the round. On the other side, NRG still had some money in the bank. So look at a pretty much full buy in terms of hardware aside from George and the Tech 9. A little bit limited on the util, but that should be fine. Just gonna walk on right here.
I definitely can. There's that singular flash, and it completely catches Wumbo off guard. It thrusts Freshie into a very difficult spot if this mid to B split wants to come through, but NRG are still taking their time. Grim has found another kill out in long. And Freshie really can't do anything but clear out one position, and he can't even find a kill off of that either. So NRG will collect themselves another round, and Grizz and OG Wizard will have to hold on to their guns because they are out of cash.
Yep. This is going to be a mission to save, but I feel like NRG, having lost that first map, they've got a chip on their shoulders, so I feel like they're really going to apply the pressure repeatedly against Marsborne and try to save some face for 1, and 2, get into the heads of Marsborne. OG Wizard waiting here, top of Dumpster towards long. Also takes care of Grizz, and OG Wizard soon to follow. There's really very little chance surviving, and there you go. Nitro takes care of that, and that is the type of round NRG want to take.
Well, NRG definitely, as you say, look like they have a chip on their shoulder, wanting to storm back into this series and prove to us why they went in through with this map pick. So far, you do see that ferocity out of them. Already putting some severe pressure on players like Wumbo, who has a lot on his plate on that B side of things. Has to recollect his thoughts in the middle as well. I mean, there's a lot of onus put onto his shoulders. And so far, he hasn't been up to the task. And can you blame him? Flashes in his face, bullets all over the shop, and it's tough to play against this rifle corps head on as a single solitary CT. There has to be just a little bit more support, but as far as map winners are concerned, stake odds seem to favor NRG just a bit. But of course, can't forget that weekly reload of $35 if you use code STAR35, excuse me. Here comes that B hit. I mean, Nitro's gotten all the way up into the window. They didn't even have a player on B site proper. They have just walked completely dry into B and basically been given a free round here, John.
Yeah, this round's done. Scouts lost from Marsborne. The rest's not really that big of a deal in the pistols. However, it is kind of important because this is a 4-spy that's coming through, so they want to hang on to whatever they can. Otherwise, it's just going to be nothing to really fight with into that next round because they're going to have very little loss bonus coming through. And yeah, they're just going for that save.
Let's see what they can get done here. You'd think that maybe they'd even be able to scoop up a gun, but nobody decides to hunt from NRG. They just want to rack up some more cash. And they will. It's time for Marsborne to have a look in the mirror and say, hey, what can we do differently to support Wumbo in mid and to maybe find some answers on the other side of the map to help facilitate an extra rotation? Because right now, it definitely feels as though Marsborne just do not have enough solutions to really bottle up that B split.
They'll have to make an adjustment for sure if they want to do so. As we have a technical pause that's come through. Some issues that need to be resolved here and quickly done. Okay. Favorite type of tech pause, the one that lasts for 3 seconds.
Yes.
We're getting ready for round number 6.
You can say that again. I mean, I was going to go into a whole tirade about MIBR actually being down in the SA qual, pulling it back to double overtime, winning off the back of an LNZ 1-on-4 clutch, and then staying alive in the upper bracket after winning map 3. There's been some crazy antics over there in the South American region as well, so plenty of Counter-Strike to watch from StarLadder, so you don't want to miss it all. Definitely check out that main channel as well, but right here, right now, NRG looking to stay and make their own comeback of sorts in this best of 3 against Marsborne. Looking to make this 5-1 on their opponent's map pick, or on their map pick, rather.
I feel like South America is always good for a ton of overtimes.
Yeah,
Honestly,
always.
It's crazy. Sonic and Nitro are good for a flurry of frags, as Wumbo does get one onto Sonic, but that's just a consolation prize. This is an anti-eco that's gone exactly as it should for NRG. Wumbo will fall by the wayside. NRG look like a team possessed right now. They are on a absolute tear, entirely different from what we saw in the previous map, and it had to be. I mean, I feel like they needed that wake-up call against Iowa Stormboar, and it didn't fully come through, but that loss is like, hey guys, whoa, like bring your A game. Let's get it going.
Right, that this is not going to be a walk in the park, that you're not going up against another lower end competition type opponent. Like this is serious business. And NRG now definitely locked back into place. Yep. OG Wizard tries to go for a hero play out catwalk, but did not have any information about what was going on in the lower tons. And again, Nitro and NRG are at the cusp of the mid doors. Wumbo's had to fall all the way back into the B site, and you can start to get very worrying for Marsborne when they're starting to turtle up like this. This is not the CT side that you want to see, where they're pushed back into the site and they aren't able to really play their own game.
Oh, and also Nitro's 12-2. Just saying. Like leading the team. Sonic 11-2. In fact, just the Sonic and Nitro show at this stage. Grimm's like, hey, I want to get in on that action. And he does. Headshot onto Nyx towards long. That clears up so much space. And now that's only Grizz left on the A side. I say only Grizz. He's very clutch. And he could easily find a 2, maybe even 3 piece here, because he maneuvers so well with such great spray control. But in this case, the utility's too much to deal with, and he gets none. Grim and Nitro get another couple, and Freshie will survive and manage to at least get 2 bodies. But the problem is the kills are probably all he's going to get. They need to stop giving him kills. There we go. Grim finally ends that, and it'll be 6-1 for NRG.
Little overzealous, I'd argue, there from NRG, but it's totally fine. They're still up 6-1. They've got plenty of cash. That AWP was saved over. Marsborne will look to Lucid to maybe figure things out here. Maybe he's got an extra wrinkle in the playbook to try and pull this back into contention, because right now, Marsborne are floundering on Dust2. Doesn't feel like they're really the same team at all that we saw on Ancient. And with that, Inferno will loom, John. And I look at that map and I say, yes, Marsborne have won quite a few maps there, but I'll always favor the more experienced roster when we get there. Also have to give a quick shout out to ATK Gear, giving 8 mice to 8 lucky viewers. So check out the giveaway on the banner below. Oh my goodness, OG Wizard. That's the scout work that we're looking to see out of the young gun. Finds a nice one to keep it a 4-on-4. But Nitro is there to quell the nerves that we're building here for NRG.
I mean, Grizz has managed to grab the op off the ground off of Halzerk's body, so that's actually quite a prize, given that this is an eco round for them, or a half-buy investment. Can you hang on to it, though? Grizz, you gotta get out of there. You're not an opper. Don't try and fight too much. Grim's gonna take the head off of OG Wizard. And I feel like NRG, I'm saying they don't want to fight too much, but NRG also are being very aggressive on their hunts right now. Again, trying to assert their dominance. And Grim's gonna go right into it. Sonic as well. They want to make sure that nothing gets saved over, and I mean, Grizz should be out of the picture at this stage. Shouldn't even be anywhere nearby. He gets the shot onto Sonic. Grim takes care of Freshie, though, and now Grizz is trying to hightail it out of here. He makes the right choice. Will save the op. Oh. Yes! Oh my god! That got very close, but by the skin of his teeth, the op does get carried over into this round, but it's a small consolation with a 7-1 scoreline staring down at you.
Yeah, you can say that again. I mean, Nitro is been given the op. I am assuming this is for that early B pick. See if he can get there in time. But Molly up in his face. Slight timing here to see if he can fight Freshie. And oh my goodness, just a missed shot there. And oh my goodness, he actually hits it through the box. That's nice. But no kill, and it's unconfirmed damage, I guess, for temporarily. And with that, NRG will move over to lower tons. But this time, Wumbo is here to fight. He wants to go toe-to-toe with NRG and feel a little bit more free in this position of mid. This boost is coming soon. This is going to be tough to actually counter. Yeah, that flash is fantastic. But Holzerk with a beautiful flick over. That had to be instantaneous. Back and forth we go. Nade work from OG Wizard. Evil evens us out at a 3-on-3. But NRG still have themselves long control and still have an opportunity to potentially cross over. But Nitro's got to make this huge trek around the world with that C4 on his back.
Grim's going towards A, as you already mentioned. There's no one on the site. The only one nearby is OG Wizard, but look what he has. He's got the op. He had that 4K to cap off map number 1 with the big green. Maybe he can channel some of the energy here. No smokes. Oh, excuse me, there is a smoke. It's thrown. And OG Wizard, a little disrupted and taken down by George. Well done from George, who gets the second as well. Freshie, the last one standing. Bomb's going to be planted. Freshie's going to try and get on the scene quickly and isolate a 1v1. Sees the head of Nitro, but Nitro also spots him. That goes both ways. And now Freshie, position known, may just have to back off. He realizes it. So he is just hightailing out of there. Looking for utility upgrades. There's the op on the ground, so he can pick that up and try to save into the next round. But despite their efforts, Marsborne will not be able to get their second round here. It's going to be 8-1 instead for NRG.
This has map 3 written all over it, John.
Yes.
NRG just feel in their form of flow state, which feels a little bit more dominating than that of On Ancient.
It does.
You're not even getting the chance to clutch up if you're Marsborne in some of these post plants. And NRG, I mean, this is the lineup that you're expecting to perform in this manner. You're expecting this to be a sweep. You're expecting them to be the comfortable qualifying team into the main event. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows in NA, John.
No, it's not. We also can't forget that this is a map that Marsborne aren't comfortable on and don't play a lot. But, I mean, given what happened in map number 1, we expected a lot more than this. I guess NRG knew what they were doing picking into this map. We have to give them a lot of credit for that, because we were criticizing them a ton coming into Dust2. But now they're going to be up maybe 9-1, because they just got the opener up against Freshie. Flashbang going to get tossed. Halzerk's blinded by it. Fully blinded, in fact. But it doesn't matter because no one's really chasing him. OG Wizard, okay. Getting a little aggressive. Spotting out Nitro. Resetting. Looking for another peek into lower tunnels. And that costs him his life. Sonic will spray him down with a flurry of bullets from the AK. And the man advantage restored for NRG. Now 3 players going to go in towards mid. Grizz waiting on the other side. There's a player cat as well. The potential for Marsborne to strike back in this round does exist. Will they be able to against these hot guns of NRG?
No, I'm not really sure. Grizz will re-aggress here. That's really quieting down. And Wumbo is there to chime in as well, but he's lost his compatriot. It's just Sonic up into the 1-on-3, and Sonic actually burns out one more. He spotted out Wumbo, and Wumbo doesn't want to give up this duel. He'll actually duel straight through the door. And finally, Wumbo can say he's won this mid-duel for a round.
That is a ballsy play from Wumbo too. He's like, I am going to go toe-to-toe with you, Sonic. I don't care if you've got a ton more experience than me and I'm the young guy against the veteran. I want to take this fight. And he wins it, just barely. But he gets those last 2 shots off while Sonic is trying to readjust. See those stake odds coming on your screen, very heavily favoring NRG for the map win here. And of course, if you want that weekly reload bonus of $35, just deposit $20, activate that bonus with STAR35 as your code, and you'll enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days. That's code STAR35 for your $35 weekly bonus on stake. NRG still have a very good lead despite losing that previous round, and of course they've got tons of cash, so they're just going to buy up again, and the full investment comes through.
So a chance for NRG to really hit him where it hurts. Cash completely run dry. That flash is nice to get them involved. Gonna consider to go through this smoke is the real question. Still got plenty of utility, that extra belt of utility. They want to go into that A site. But they'll think better of it. They'll hold on to this cat control instead. I think it's just going to be a re-execution considering you've got this late lurk from Grim. Here it comes. Volley out in mid to just push off some of these players and cause maybe an extra rotation, but Marsborne are not budging considering Freshie is this far close. And so it's got to be up to Grim here to maybe find a little bit of control, but he's actually flashed by his own teammate. And because of that, it makes this fight against Nyx that much more difficult. Nades are through, and it's got to be the cat prong to do all the heavy lifting. Sonic will find one, but now it's got to be Grizz to fight tooth and nail, and he can't. Alzerk and Sonic do all the work off of Catwalk, and NRG should have themselves another round as long as things go according to plan. It looks like it shall as Wumbo and Freshie look to save.
Yeah, I guess you have no choice, but I mean, you're looking at 9-2. It's a 2v3. You've got kits. You're around the site. Maybe try for it. I don't know, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I understand. No,
I'm with you though, right? Because
Yeah.
it's at a certain point, you've got to find a way to just send it, right? I mean, this isn't even the worst disadvantage that they've been in.
Exactly.
And I really think you need those 4 rounds. I really do.
I don't know. NRG look like they're up for blood right now. Not taking any prisoners. Sonic got another nice opener, and then Halsert with the op. I mean, once he finds his rhythm, he becomes such a scary customer. We didn't really get to see it on map number 1, but now, wow. That's a nice shot. Even here, we haven't seen it much, to be honest with you. It's only his 5th kill, but it's even then, still a nice little flick that he pulls off. He's trying to take a fight towards mid once more. Let's see if he can get some more under his belt. Halsert, yes he does. There you go. Wins the fight against OG Wizard, 5v4. Molotov comes up, Wumbo throws the smoke into it. He's trying to fade off, and he will successfully do so as Nitro spraying around, thinks that Wumbo's still in the vicinity, but he will get Sonic, does Wumbo, on his attempt to spray the smoke. Back and forth they go with 0 visibility, but finally a frag goes through.
No, scoreline doesn't necessarily jump off the page for both Marsborne and Wumbo, but I like the improvements from Wumbo here to still play his own game and hold on to mid as much as he can. The problem is everywhere else things are falling apart as they've fixed and patched up this mid position. Luckily, Freshie takes it upon himself to go aggressive up in the upper tunnels and brings it back to a 4-on-3 for Marsborne. It's gotta be Freshie here.
Yeah, oh, Wumbo dies. Grim takes the fight. Grizz manages to get the trade, though. And Freshie, yeah, this is a key spot. If they don't clear it, which is possible, he could win it out. No, but he goes for the fight instead. And then Nitro gets 2. Grizz managed to get the trade. 1v1. Halsert up against Grizz. Grizz naded down to 64. Halsert staring at the smoke. That's where Grizz is coming from, but he looks away for a moment. Can Grizz get the upper hand and give Marsborne an all-important 3rd round? Halsert planting the bomb on top of the box is a very unorthodox spot. Grizz walking out. Might catch Halsert looking the wrong way. He does, but he can't finish his food. Halsert gets another chance at life. He may not miss this opportunity that's been handed towards him. Halsert will not. Headshot found. Grizz wishing he was a little bit sharper as we head to the halftime break. All right, we're back into it here, folks. Getting ready for the second half. NRG absolutely dominating in the first half. 10-2 in their favor. They've come back with a vengeance here on map number 2, showing that map 1 may have just been an aberration.
You could say that again. It definitely feels like NRG are right back in the race now. Everybody's munching on something and bathroom breaks are taken care of. Stay hydrated as well. I can't stress that enough. Those of you watching at home, very, very important. NRG now take to half number 2 with a 10-2 lead here on their map pick of Dust2. Inferno looming around the corner. Dual Berettas for Grim, Smoke Flash for Nitro. And Marsborne look to at least think about taking some long control. Especially rings out a P250.
Sonic, oh, what a shot against OG Wizard. He's still looking for more as his teammates are coming to support, and he will get another one.
God.
So does Halzer. Oh no, this would be devastating for Marsborne if they can't get anything on the pistol round. That looks like it's exactly what's going to happen. Freshie, last one available, and Sonic wraps up the round with a 3-piece. They've got 11, 2 rounds away. This one may be moments away from Inferno.
That's gotta be just the most frustrating way to lose a pistol, man. I mean, you've got 3 or 4 players in that situation coming at you, full gray screen, and yet somehow there's just no way to get the kills and to ever pull that into a favorable situation if you're Marsborne. And that just has to be the final nail in the coffin when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. Everything that went right on Ancient is now happening exactly the opposite here on Dust2.
I would argue worse.
Yeah,
Mars,
no, 100%.
Like, yeah, like you were saying it earlier, it just feels way more dominating right now for NRG than it felt for Marsborne on Ancient. Yeah, I mean, this is the reality of playing a top team, right? Is that, sure, you might be able to pick up a map, but if you can't keep it going consistently, it's very difficult. And oh my god, also, what a shot. He does get traded out, but man, that is a ripper of a scout kill that he gets, and damage done against Nyx as well. They will take the space into mid, but Halzer has done his job. He's gotten one, he's given his team information, and that information is all Nitro and George need to wrap up this round as, whoa, almost, George does go down. I got too excited. Wumbo manages to get the Deagle headshot. He has 27 HP, slips away through the smoke. Wumbo, how have you done this? He might be able to get a bomb plant on the A site unless they realize he's gotten here. This is quite impressive.
I think they're thinking he went up into upper tunnels for a moment, and that he would drop in a B, but no, that bomb has been scooped up, and Wumbo will have an opportunity to plant. I think in his mind, he wants to shave off another player. So maybe even considering taking that duel off a CT spawn, but now you'll just have to plant and hope for the best. This is going to be a difficult situation, and unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles.
I still love that play. Like, that's fun.
I do.
That's fun. Like, you get 2 Deagle kills when it looks like the round was over. I was convinced the round was over. NRG were as well. And then, look at that. He comes through, gets 2, slips away to the A site of all things, back through the smoke. They don't realize it. A little bit of a smile even on the NRG side, saying, how the heck did he manage that? But they're also really happy because it's 12-2. And that force buy didn't really work out for the side of Marsborne. They do get the bomb plant, so this next force buy won't be as bad as it possibly could be, but it's still pretty bad because it's the beginning of the half and the money's not really there. Yeah.
Absolutely. Give a shout out to Lorgar again for our tournament PCs. See those in the main event very, very soon. And NRG will be seeing Inferno very, very soon with the rate at which this is going. 8 up on a Wumbo, softens him up to 62. And just like that, NRG moments away. This jump spot is not ideal, though. Not ideal in any way as they encroach upon him off of Catwalk. So mid control and Catwalk control established for Marsborne very quickly. Nitro now under some serious pressure. Now puts a lot of pressure
Oh my God.
on George as well, but he rises to the occasion and then some. It leaves it all up to OG Wizard in the 1-on-3. He's got a smoke flash, and he's got plenty of time to piece this one together. But I don't know if he's got this one in him.
I don't think so. I'm going to say it straight. 45 seconds left. You got the bomb on your back, but 3 players to go up against. Sonic in particular. He's got 20 kills. Nitro at 22. They got 42 kills combined. Nitro's gone, but you still have Grim and George behind it too. Anyway, who else? Sonic gets the last kill of the map. 13-2 domination in a speed run of a Dust2 by NRG.
Yeah, that's the NRG we were looking for. I mean, honestly, from top to bottom, the exact performance that we were looking for. And I mean, you have
played it a lot on land specifically. They did beat SBE. That's in the mix. Lag and Chicken Coop also fell to them, and neither of those teams could get double-digit rounds. They got close on 2 occasions. Chicken Coop and SBE getting 9 rounds, but none of them getting 10. So there are some decent wins that they've got under their belts there, but in terms of level of competition, NRG, SBE, M80, and Gamer Legion are the teams they've played. SBE was a stomp, 13-2, but against M80 and Gamer Legion, both 10-13 losses, but those are very good teams on Inferno, so it's a difficult one to go up against those squads, and they still performed well. So yeah, I mean, I know we were leaning against NRG pretty considerably going into Dust2 given that first map performance, but now I feel like it's shifted again.
It definitely has. The onus is on Marsborne now to see if they can change things in terms of our perception of them. And so walk through silently through the apartments. Hulzerk and George having to be the first points of contact, and nice timing there from George, and beautiful work there from Hulzerk to find one, but only restricted to the one. George is going to have to fall back and play far more defensively as the rest of his defense comes charging back in to save him.
Grizz looking for a response here. He will get it. Grim's gone, and he finds Sonic as well from long range with the dualies. What a response from Grizz to bring it to a man advantage in favor of Marsborne. Now, NRG realized they've gone to the B site because they spot OG Wizard trying to join his teammates, so they're going to have to scramble to get there to try and deny the bomb plant, but they won't be able to. The smoke's going to be up. Oh, almost, I say that, but Nitro almost got a spot there, and the smoke isn't great. It was kind of thrown in a bit of a panic, but Grizz waits on the other side of it to try and punish even further. He's already got 3. He wants the ace, which he just might find unless George and Nitro have something to say about it. And without a kit, I feel like this round may already be lost.
Certainly so. George did get one, and Grizz was really slow on that. But NRG still get themselves, or sorry, excuse me, Marsborne still get their first round on the board. And, you know, I like that they have this adaptation in place. You know, they lose the apartments fight favorably or unfavorably and manage to still find a way to piece it all together. Still find that kill in CT spawn to turn things around and charge into B. And put the hurt on NRG. Force buy is out. Sonic with the mag 7. Interestingly enough. I don't know how Grim is still alive. That nade is nice to maybe open it up, but very bizarre situation to start things out here.
I mean, look, we talked about this many times. I feel like as long as we're casting Marsborne, we will discuss it. Grizz can keep his team in matches and can power them forward sometimes with his play. And having found the ace in the pistol round and doing everything possible to bring them back from a man disadvantage to pretty much an easy win is pretty crazy. However, you can't discount NRG on a force buy. Nitro gets the boost and he finds the head of Nyx. 5v4 in their favor, and Marsborne are going all in on this B hit, it seems. Utility, they've got enough to go for a fake here if they want to, but I feel like they're just going to commit, given the time left on the clock and the situation that they're in. It's not going to be easy, though. Sonic's waiting with the Swag 7 and Grim with the MP9. It's a pretty nice crossfire, in fact. Oh, great flashbang to kind of nullify it, though. Sonic looks around for something, and wow! That is a very nice cleanup from Marsborne. They get 3 in a row. Nitro gets 1 response, but it's only himself and George that remain.
Still have a look in here. You still have Nitro all the way in church. As the smoke dissipates, he'll try to see if he can connect a shot or two. Spots out Wumbo in new box and tries to collect it alongside George, but they can't seem to finish the job. And with that, they'll look to save instead. Or is that the case? Flash in. See if George can take a favorable duel. Grizz on 2 HP. You think finally he'd go down. And he will, but there are plenty of Marsborne players on the other end to take him out. 2-0 start for Marsborne.
Yeah, I think Marsborne died to the bomb there. We didn't see it, but all 10 players were off the server at the end. I think that was NRG's mission. Make it as expensive as possible for Marsborne. Even though they lose the force buy, it hurts a lot on the side of Marsborne here. So we go into it round number 3, and also, guys, as you can see on your screens, Lorgar are helping bring the official tournament PCs to the StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026 main event, so a huge thanks to them for that. Round number 3 underway, and in fact, off of all 5 players dying there for Marsborne, NRG opt for another force buy. Interesting. I don't really mind it, given the economic situation.
It's definitely a risk, but pay off dividends if it does get converted. Spam comes through this bottom banana smoke, and as it gets replenished, Grim will sit right behind it. So full control here for the CTs on this end. And with that, NRG will be happy to keep 3 players on this side. I would like that extra rotation to come in on A, but it's got to be Halzerk here on our side to pick up the pieces as these encroaching T's bear down on A.
Halzerk, as you mentioned, under a lot of pressure. If he sees one, and he's just going to throw a flashbang probably and try to keep again. There we go. And he gets a kill off of it. They don't really re-engage either. Now George is able to strike onto Freshie. Halzerk finally finished off, but it's a 4v3 in favor of NRG, and they've got control of both bomb sites. However, the A site is in a precarious spot. Nitro waiting in pit. He's going to get mollied out of position, and George is stuck on the site. George left to his own devices. Time indeed becoming an issue, but Marsborne just have to get 2 kills, and they'll be able to plant, and they get exactly that done. Bomb should be plantable here. Grim awaits in the shadows, and he's just going to try to activate quickly, try and catch someone off guard, but he's made a lot of noise, so they know exactly where he is. But he can use that smoke to try and engage with the site players instead. He's the last one standing, has to get a 1v3. There's the first, there's the second, turning around towards pit, knows exactly where Grizz is, pulls out the pistol, and Grim has done it! 1v3 leads to a first round victory for NRG here on Inferno.
I saw that smoke, and instantaneously I thought there's a lot of space here for Grim to work, and the segmented one-on-ones, they're just small moments of space there that Grim can work with, and he uses that fully to his advantage. When you give him the space to get mechanically into it, he absolutely will put on a show for you. And Grim completely ignites that force buy and completely changes the dimension of the first 4 rounds of play now.
That is just the type of play that you need to see from Grim. Like he, excuse me, he just brings such a great dimension here now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so much good work from him there. And look at what that's done to Marsborne's economy. Pistols across the board, a Galil for Wumbo. And this is a chance for NRG to completely rip the momentum back the other way. Boy, are they happy that this is something that they can hang their hat on because of Grim.
I think everyone's had their time in the spotlight here on NRG throughout this series. Mostly on Dust2, of course, and well, now here on Inferno, I guess we're going to get started. Nitro tosses the smoke in towards the apartments. George is kind of lit up here down to 14 HP. Nade is tossed. That'll do some damage. Just a little bit, though. On to Grizz. Under a minute left for Marsborne to make their move. And oh my goodness, what a shot and peek from Nyx onto Halzerk. That'll give him an upgrade as well, and it may change the plans for Marsborne to go to the A site. No, it doesn't. Just gonna go B. Nitro's going to find this. Yes, he does. Nyx is gone. Even numbers.
Even numbers indeed, and Grim again is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting. Flash to prime himself into the duel. He does find the rifler first, and he finds a second somehow, some way. Credit to Sonic's flashbang for priming that in, but Sonic now is the only player with HP on that CT side. Look at him going charging through the smoke, just completely dry. It catches OG Wizard completely off guard. And Freshie gets into the smoke. Another 1v3 on the other end. It's the captain of Marsborne to strike fear into NRG.
Oh my goodness. You gotta be joking me. Back-to-back clutches coming through. Nitro can do nothing but laugh and say, wow, that is insane. I mean, Grim did a great job there. Sonic supporting him with the flashbangs. You thought they had enough to hang on, but Freshie, just the Tech 9 is all he needs to be the hero. This second one, just spamming the smoke. A little bit of fortune, but man, he had the lineup on Nitro immediately. And you see those stake odds come through. Pretty much what we said, guys. 50-50. Say in terms of who's gonna get it. And don't forget that weekly reel of $35. You can activate it by depositing $25 using code STAR35, and then you enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days. No grinding, no gimmicks, just a steady reload all week long. As Wumbo is lost on Marsborne early on in this round. A 5v4 gain for NRG.
That's still big Grim putting in work, but Halzerk on that rifle wanted a lot more out of that gun. And somehow that nade sails past George, allowing him to find the kill. Still a 3-on-3 here. Nitro trying to play ahead of that utility, but smoke in his face. Thinking about going through it. Lurk smoke dropped in the meantime. And a rifle scooped up, still there from George. Yeah, very good incendiary. Segments these players on the A site. Grim trying his hardest to connect the shots, but they just can't. OG Wizard through the smoke instead. It's got to be Sonic and Nitro to put this one together in the 2-on-3, but time continues to rot. There still isn't any kits involved in this play, and at that point, they've just got to pull the plug. They've got to back away. Sure, Sonic will find a couple on the way out, but I think he might be a dead man. Freshie, same goes for him, so huge amounts of economic damage done by NRG. But it's Marsborne that extend the lead to 4-1.
Well, I mean, at least they get the damage done on the NRG side, but you're right. It's Marsborne who are the ones ahead by a decent margin. NRG going to save a couple of guns through after that round, so they might try to... I imagine they're going to reinvest here. We'll see. Maybe they'll try to stabilize the economy a little bit. No. They will just buy. So one person's going to have to settle without having a gun. That person is George. Everyone else is on those 2 saved rifles, an M4 and an MP9. And again, like, given the way things have gone and how many casualties Marsborne has suffered, I understand why NRG are just continuing to try and apply the pressure, because they know if they can hit that breaking point, then the rounds can really start to pile on. Grim. Jump over, info hopping. Utility battle is always insane on Banana. You can see it flying back and forth both on your screen and on the radar. But no casualties yet. George with that lowly 5-7 waits in pit. Sees the head, gets the shot. Not so lowly anymore, as now Halzerk almost locks on and gets that second, but only damage.
Doesn't find what he's looking for. And with that, Marsborne get a little bit worried. They see all of these bodies converging onto the apartments that they look towards Arch and said, but look at this re-clear here from NRG, completely dry, dueling up against Nyx and Grizz, but they win the duels, Marsborne. They get themselves a man advantage. They pull this one back into a 3-on-3. With 30 seconds left on the clock, you'd think they'd take a little bit of a beat, but it's Grizz to find 1 and Grim to find 2 off the back of a CT side aggression. It throws it all onto OG Wizard's shoulders. He's got a molly. He's got a little bit of time and space to get this bomb down, but how is he going to clutch up now that NRG want to play the buddy system?
Man, oh man, Grim Looks like a scary customer here on Inferno. I mean, yeah, you're down 1-4, but he might be about to deliver a second round towards his squad. No, he won't! OG Wizard's the one with the magic. He gets 2, and the round is done. A 5-1 lead for Marsborne. They're back.
The rabbit out of the hat from the young gun. Just given a little bit of room to breathe after dropping in that molly. And you think with just how many double pumps going all around the shop here on this A site that Marsborne had too many cooks in the kitchen, but at the end of it all, OG Wizard still pulls it off. And now we sit at a 5-1 lead for Marsborne. Slowly but surely it's turning from these scrappy rounds where they're just holding on to economic advantage by the skin of their teeth to perhaps domination, John.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is they keep losing a lot of bodies and they have to reinvest round after round. NRG, I think they're going to force up again. I think they're going to do it because they feel like they need to keep applying the pressure. There's a risk to this now at this point though, right? Because it's 5-1, the half is almost over. You know, you're reaching that point where if you keep doing this, you're not going to get your proper buy up. You're not going to get your proper setup. So you have to think in your head, and they're calling a timeout to discuss this. Like, do we just go for an eco and then get the op out, or do we keep trying to like go on this seemingly fool's errand to try and get these guys out of their comfort zone and force them into an eco of their own immediately? Which, I mean, I see the rewards. They're definitely there for NRG, right? Like, if you can find that one, then it's almost a guaranteed second, maybe even a third in a row. But you have to weigh your options and your, you know, the level of risk you're willing to take.
You also have to think about on the other side of the equation for Marsborne, if they're able to win one clean round, all of a sudden it just looks completely different. So we're walking on a tightrope here. Despite this scoreline, this match is on a razor's edge. Umbo still unrelenting though, still wants to take this banana space. Smoke up in the middle of banana. And with that, that gives a little bit of room for Grim to still get up to his antics. And look at that. Look at how much damage he's done. You're exactly right. But on the other side of the map, Freshy's getting frisky around the smokes. Nyx has found George pushing up into the apartments. But look at Alzerk. He's wanting to duel as well. Finds Grizz on the tail end, but they're still finding a way to bully their way into this A bomb site. They've cut off the choke points, and Alzerk hits the deck after just one kill. Sonic, all he can do is spam, but it looks like you will get that round out of Marsborne to keep multiple players alive.
It just takes one to break the other side. And it goes both ways, by the way. I was saying NRG could get a couple of rounds, but also Marsborne get the same thing if they win cleanly, and that's what they've done. There's no way a force buy is going to come through from NRG after this. So it will be an eco that Marsborne can capitalize on, get a 7th for themselves. Okay, Grim has found Freshy. Think they try and chase that gun? I think they will. Will that make them force up again? Oh my god. Well, either way, it will be 6-1 for Marsborne. There we go. Wumbo putting the force buy completely out of their minds now, as NRG are in a lot of trouble.
Certainly now. I mean, it's got to be, what, 7-1 at this point? Considering the financial equation. But where do you look towards? I mean, it's got to be Grim, sure, but Halzork hasn't really had a chance to get that op going. And with that, NRG will still have at least something to write home about. Of course, always write home about the giveaway that we have with ATK Mice. Check out the banner below and definitely get involved, as round 8 is here to ensue. These MP9s and the solo A4 from Sonic is going to have to do wonders, and they've just gone for a straight up gamble this time around, John.
Gamble stack towards the A site. Grim waiting alone on B, but Grim has a ton of utility, so he can make himself feel like multiple people. Tossing that util forward. He's going to get a smoke, likely an incendiary soon, and hope to push Marsborne back and funnel him towards A. In fact, it's already happened. Barely had to do anything, and they completely backed off of that B hit. Smoke goes out. Grizz saw it, and he said, okay, yep, that's enough. Let's go A. Little does he know, this is exactly what NRG were hoping for.
Well, this is it. This is where you put your money where your mouth is and start to chain rounds back the other way. NRG have to claim this one with 4 players here. Halzerk finds one, but Freshy instantly with the response. They're encroaching their way onto the site, and slowly but surely you think maybe some kills could go back for Marsborne, but it's Sonic with that A4 to find a quick double. Puts it all up with the OG Wizard, and sure, he's done a lot of great work to win a couple of clutches, but this one's too difficult to pull through. NRG finally went off the back of a gamble, and you know, it's not the most consistently replicable round, but it's a round nonetheless.
And it's crazy to think that finally when they give up on the 4 spies is when they get the round, right? So, yeah, I mean, they could have done that a few rounds ago, just gambled and not gone for a force, and then maybe they would have won and then had a buy up in the next. Anyway, look, it is still very costly for Marsborne because their money hadn't stabilized, and they're actually not going to take the risk. They're up 6-2, so they don't have to on the T side of Inferno. So they go for the half buy instead. A couple of Tech 9s, 2 Glocks, and the AK brought through versus NRG, who've got 3 AKs picked up from that previous round. Halzerk with the op, who already got a kill, as you can see, and Sonic with the A1S. There's that man advantage early on in the round that NRG were hoping for. And while the scoreline is very daunting, because NRG are able to rebuff Marsborne and take away what should have been a nice round victory for them and a padding to their lead, now this gets interesting once more.
Yeah, this is where NRG can surely cut the lead down. Halzerk, now that he's got his AWP, is able to put that to good use. Nice triangle of doom here on NRG. Whoa, okay, sure. Nice little fade away from Wumbo. That should be all she wrote. As Grim charges down Banana, and NRG pulled this within 3.
Okay, Wumbo. That was a pretty wicked kill. I mean, despite it not being important in the round. Wow, just out of nowhere. 3rd found for NRG. And Marsborne, did they not just eco in the previous round? They did, and they're ecoing again. This is a little odd. I mean, it was a half buy, but still, you'd think they would invest after that, but instead they're playing it super conservatively. Freshy's got the AK. Pistols all around outside of that. And Sonic's going to try and feast on some frags here down Banana, but there's no food on the table there. Everyone else from Marsborne has gone towards the A site. George waiting, spamming, gets one, not a second. Thought he would get a multi-kill there. And now, yeah, Halzerk's in trouble, but he still hits the shot. Nitro and Grim support, and to okay for NRG. It's a 4th round found.
Yeah, that's a little nerve-wracking there with those pistols able to cut down the distance, but there needed to be just another kill before Halzerk really felt the heat, and it never came through. So that sniper completely changes the tides of battle, and as we've seen, the odds now have swiftly switched on over from stake over to a 1.65 in favor of NRG. And of course, there's still that weekly reload if you guys want to get involved. $35 with the code STAR35. Look at Sonic go, man. Completely changing how he's approaching the game right now. Very quickly put to bed by Grizz, though. And Marsborne still have themselves a 4-on-4.
Yeah, and it feels like despite the lead that Marsborne built up, it wasn't momentum building in terms of the rounds they were winning because of how NRG was in every single one. So that's the key thing to keep in mind here as we go forward. Because NRG are the ones who are starting to get those clean round victories that Marsborne could not find early on. Nice incendiary Molotov toss, and Fresh, he's going to get it, but Nitro back with 2, not a 3rd. Nyx takes his head off. A 2v2 as a result, and they will get the bomb planted. A bit of a sprint for George and Halzerk, but they'll get their running shoes on and head towards that B site. Halzerk edging around the smoke, looking for targets. And George will join him. They've got the util. Halsrick gets clipped down to 52. Needs to be careful here. OG Wizard's got a chance to strike again, and it'll be Nyx actually taking over Halsrick. George gets the nade kill onto Nyx. He knows that OG Wizard is here, I believe. Yeah, he's got the info. Hits the shots, but can't finish the job just yet. 34 HP left. Time ticking away on the bomb. OG Wizard knows he's got him. He gets the kill as George. Does he have time to defusal as well? It's gonna be close. Down to the wire. He's got it. George wins the round. NRG have a 5th.
Oh my goodness, man. This has been just a brutal sequence for Marsborne. Clutch after clutch, hit after hit. They're just getting blown to smithereens on this comeback for NRG. And they are just not stopping these unlikely wins on their end. It all starts with this insane double from Nitro. And then the comeback to find the nade to land as in the place that it did. And for George just to have enough time. Op scooped back up for Halsrick, and now he can exert himself here on Banana. This will try his hand. They kick open the smoke, and Halsrick has an opportunity, but splits the wickets. Doesn't actually confirm one, and George now has an opportunity Grim has a chance to hold on to B here, as Nitro pulls one back on that A side as well.
I'm surprised to see Grim pick up the op, but sure. It's subverting expectations, at least, for Marsborne. Oh, but he can't hit the shot. Maybe he did, but it was a leg shot. And now he's dead. Grim unable to do much with the AWP, and now the site is overtaken. 3 NRG members remain up against 4 from Marsborne. Utils there, some nades, some incendiaries to disrupt a lot here as they make their approach, Paladin.
Still a very difficult one. I'd argue an even more difficult situation compared to the last in the 2v2. Nitro draws an incendiary to drop. Should be able to flush out this new box player. And George has found 2 in the meantime, so it actually thrusts Wumbo and OG into a difficult clutch. Make that just OG Wizard now having to find 2 kills in the nick of time, and he's taken significant damage through the wall. How in the hell have Marsborne dropped that one? I couldn't tell you. And with that, our NRG tie us at 6 apiece as we go into the halftime break.
Literally making something out of nothing. Then you feel me? I'm glad to be in that position because everything is broke.
Every time I elevated something to celebrate. John Jones, I went to heavyweight on these featherweights, but I ain't backing down, I'ma take the weight up another plate. Lean nothing but crumbs, that's how you eat, let me demonstrate. Decade in the game, I ain't lost a step, I just upped the pace. Watched them up the pay, I put in the reps and pick up the chase. Then it up the balance, but we ain't even no miles away. It ain't just a talent, I took the challenge and walked the craze. Fell a couple times, but I got back up with some saving grace. Definitely leader, pastor still need a preacher. Talk to me when I'm shallow, lend a lens to see deeper. Closer in to see higher up, that's too much for the speakers, but ain't much for the thinkers. Clouded, I rush to the lower end to see what's in the deeper. Found a message to send itself, we're much younger and eager. Keep your youth and maintain your health, cause the future is trouble. But you made for the struggle, and you born with the hustle. Any imagery less than greatness, erase it and double.
All right, we're back into it here, getting ready for the second half of play. It started out one-sided in terms of rounds, but in terms of the gameplay we were seeing, it wasn't telling the same story. Both teams were going toe-to-toe, and eventually NRG caught up and tied things up at 6 here, Paladin.
Yeah, I can't ask for much else from NRG in terms of this comeback, and it feels like Marsborne now suddenly are on the back foot. It feels like they're running out of answers, and I mean, can't even blame them really with how they've been losing some of these situations. Yeah. You have to think that it's a psychological thing at this point. Getting put from essentially putting their feet to the fire, expecting them to come out on top. It's a little too much to ask for a roster that's this fresh and this new.
No, I do agree. It's very difficult losing the types of rounds that they are. But look, you got to put it behind you. You're going up against a top gun here in North America. You had to know it wasn't going to be that easy after getting that first map. And now, the last half of play in the series. Trying to stay in the upper bracket are both of these teams. They're locked dead even. Wumbo Trying to take the first shot, and he does, but it doesn't connect. He's probably going to choose to fall back at this stage. Sticks around a little bit longer, though.
Playing a dangerous game here is Wumbo. Still jiggling. That flash is good, though, to pull him off the angle. Freshie is here. There's plenty of Marsborne CTs across the other side, but it's all a fake. It's all a ruse. They just wanted to establish car control and force these players that are on B to stay on B. This puts a lot more onus on Grizz's shoulders now on the other side of the map. Dual Berettas and a dream to piece this all up in this round number 13 pistol round.
NRG storming down lane. All 5 players bearing down on Grizz. He can't see anything. Perfect flashbang thrown by Nitro. Sonic capitalizes. A site overtaken. And Marsborne are heading back towards A. All 4 players that stacked up on that B site. 3 of them into mid. 1 coming from library. And Nitro's looking to catch some of the rotating, but he actually missed the timing on it. They're already past it, so he's not really in a position to help out here. But the team is in such a good spot, and Sonic's so good that it doesn't matter. 3K for Sonic, and OG Wizard falls to Grim. Sonic has been unbelievable on the last 2 maps.
Yeah, I mean, he's just powered up and then some. This is the potency that Sonic can produce when it comes to NRG. He's really worked for his extension. He's deserved that extension. And he has been putting in work for such a long period of time, be it international, be it domestic as well. And now pulls NRG into the lead. Forced by again for Marsborne. And I mean, the game state has been just so weird, John. It just feels like no team has had like a complete buy at any stage. Everybody playing with pots and pans and trying to see what they can do to get it over the line. This is the exact kind of scrappy Counter-Strike I want to see between these 2 best teams that we have in the tournament.
No, I agree. Each one taking risks and chances against the other to try to gain the upper hand. And I mean, it would be nice to see a proper gun round eventually between these 2 squads, but we haven't gotten it, surprisingly. In that first half, it was scrappy buy against scrappy buy repeatedly. And maybe that'll change here if NRG can get some rhythm and convert off of their pistol round victory. Trying to get into bracket right now. 3 players lie in wait for Marsborne, but no one really on the site proper. All 3 from this angle. And they're going to lose the first body. The second one as well. Grizz trying to retreat back to the site, but he's going to be surrounded. There is so little chance of him having any impact at all. And yep, he falls without doing any damage. Freshie and Wumbo, last 2 standing. It was a force buy, so keeping what you got is worthwhile, and that's what they're going to do. It is indeed going to be NRG taking 2 in a row to kick off this second half.
Oh, well, surely at this point we'll see a gun round, right? I mean, this game state suggests as much. That is the type of ferocity we kind of saw in Dust 2. Well, you know, you see a part of the map that you want, you run out and you take it. They absolutely do that in spades. Great composure as well to punish the players popping out of the smoke with that re-aggression from the CT side. And NRG should be able to retain these guns as well. It's so funny to see these players all so close together, and they're seeing the statues being broken up, and somehow nobody goes down. That is hilarious, actually. Wow.
Well, a lighthearted moment in a serious match as they're going to get back into the swing of things here, and Lorgar is going to help players get back in the swing of things once the main event starts, as they're providing the official tournament PCs here for StarLadder StarSeries Fall 2026. Huge thanks to them. Round number 15 now. Marsborne are on an eco, so they will have a full buy up into the next. Stacking up on the B site once more. We're going for a fight here. This could work out potentially. No. Nitro is on the scene, finds himself a couple, keeps trying to chase it down. That could be his undoing. It is, but he's got so much behind him. Surely they get something else. Hold on a second. Wumbo and OG Wizard do get a couple, but who else but Sonic to quell them? Grizz finds one, but he's on the other side of the map. And while they will have to run down and get the bomb here, which means that I assume they would go back to A, because they
Oh, no.
are aware of the
Going
fact
back
that
to B.
Grizz knows they're B. No, they're going B. Okay, hold on a second. This round is far from over because Grizz could very much surprise them.
This smoke dropped into CT, so Grizz already going to make that move back over. Molly deep though, Church. That completely changes things altogether. You know, once this Molly does fade, maybe he has an opportunity, but a smoke in his face now, and this should be an open and shut case. Surely, edge on the smoke. Now Ozark will find him. Great awareness there. And NRG saved themselves from egg on their face.
Yeah, definitely. It got close for sure. And having the bomb all the way back, having to run back for the bomb created some issues for sure. But they're very fortunate that they had their heads on straight and were aware of the fact that Grizz could have gotten up in towards Church. So well done. It makes it 9-6. Marsborne do have a buy-up. Oh my goodness. Everyone has rifles and there's 2 ops on the server for the first time. And well, Steak, as you can see, is favoring NRG quite heavily. If you think you favor NRG as well, you can go on over to Steak and get a weekly $35 reload by using code STAR35 and depositing $20. You'll enjoy a daily $5 top-up for the next 7 days. No grinding, no gimmicks. Just a steady reload all week long.
You'll love to hear it. NRG now continuing the streak of rounds and putting the hurt on Marsborne, but this is it. This is the opportunity to claw your way back into this series, slough those mental tough situations, and that's a nice way to start things off. Grim goes down off the nades, and Wumbo will re-clear out Banana. But with that, they're gonna leave him on an island here. Oh, he's gotta stay alive. He really does. And he does. So now that he does, where does NRG want to move? You bully out Wumbo and push him off the half wall. But I don't know. It's 35 seconds left on the clock. They can't double pump at this point. They don't have the time.
No, I think they're just going to send it B, which isn't necessarily a bad idea because Marsborne feel like they've done enough to push NRG back, and NRG's got the read on it. So like, okay, let's just go to the B site and see what happens. Freshie down to 8 HP. He's taking a lot of damage. There's a nade out there as well. There's Nitro finding Freshie. Wumbo's going to have to do a lot of work. There's the first, but only one is not enough.
No way.
3v3. Post-plan situation about to arise. Nyx is going to throw the incendiary, and Grizz does have the nade, but it's going to have to be perfectly placed. Maybe if he throws it towards New Box and connects here, it'll be good, but smoke is gone, and Halzerk boosted up, gets the first, almost a second, but he misses the shot and loses his teammate in the process. Halzerk comes around for another dip, and he hits the shot. Nyx, last one standing, trying to be the hero in the 1v2. It's not going to be easy. 2 tough customers on the other side, and he realizes no kit, no chance. He's going to try and fade off. He could just save. Right here. Behind the pedestal. Should be safe. Explosion. And there you go. He is. Weird to say, standing right next to the bomb, you're safe, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if that makes real life sense, but we're playing a video game after all, John. We can, suspend our belief just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I know churches are built really well, but
this one's made out of wood. It looks like it's made out of wood. Oh, yeah,
that's true. Maybe there's some stone there, though. Yeah, there's stone.
Okay, yeah.
Come
okay,
on,
the stone's on the outside. Okay, that's fair. Well, NRG just seemingly can do no wrong at this point. Man disadvantage, man advantage. It's all coming up the T-side's way. But on the smoke, OG Wizard has just had such few opportunities to really use this AWP that you feel for him when you look at his score line. And NRG, they are still going to aim for the jugular here. Got themselves brackets control. And they're encroaching upon this arch side. OG Wizard is basically going to have to do this all on his own. If you want to talk impact, you've got to see it from the young gun here and now. Players across all around him, and he'll finally nail a shot. As the smoke fades, George will try to fill that void to wrap it into CT spawn. But while all this is happening, Grizz makes his mark. George now has to do everything. And oh my goodness, I thought that connection actually came through. It doesn't. Bomb has to be scooped up, and it has to all be George now. 25 seconds left on the clock. That Molly will buy him some time, and that smoke some space. And 39 HP is just going to have to do here, John.
I thought George was dead. I didn't think he was going to survive the first duel. He somehow flicks around and gets the first and then finds another one. Now an opportunity to clutch. Oh, no, not going to happen. Freshie ends him, and finally Marsborne get their first round in this second half, and Op and an AK, the spoils of war. But man, that was a tough, hard-fought victory. Thanks to George.
Absolutely. I mean, how much work can he really realistically do is the real question, though, right? I mean, doing everything on this arch side to figure things out, eventually someone off of lane is going to have to get a kill if you want to piece that one together, and it just never comes to fruition. NRG finally meet the reality that they can lose rounds. But Marsborne are not out of the woods just yet. They have so much grinding to do to pull this back into contention. But if you want to talk about an ounce of gaining some momentum, some confidence back, that's the round that you can kind of hang your hat on.
Certainly. Thing is, NRG have built up a decent economy, and you see it here. I mean, sure, it's not going to be the best of buy-ups, but they still got 4 AKs in the Galil. And, well, you can see on the side of your screen, there's a giveaway going on right now for some ATK gear. 8 mice are up for grabs, and if you want to get your chance to enter that giveaway, well, it's not hard. Scroll down, look in the description, click the banner, and you can go ahead and enter for your chance to win one of those awesome mice. Oh boy, Sonic's gonna get a nice little peek around here onto Wumbo, and Grim takes out Freshie. What an explosive start to the round. They change up the pace entirely, and Marsborne are caught flat-footed as NRG take full control of the site. This round's already done. Marsborne aren't even moving from A.
I don't even think Marsborne realized how fast they were up through Banana.
Yeah.
I don't think any of that util really did anything to them. And with that, they claim all that space. Wumbo essentially is a dead man walking. Freshie can't do anything to trade. And that's all she wrote. NRG march up to 11, just 2 rounds away from staying within this upper bracket, punching a ticket to that upper bracket final, and sending Marsborne to the doldrums to grind out that lower bracket.
It's just ridiculous that you can save here.
It is just hilarious.
Huddled. Bomb is like a foot away. You're just saving. All right. Well, I mean, there's a giant pillar in the way that could absorb all the damage, and I don't know, whatever. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. But either way, there's a reason why NRG have been so good lately, and that's because they are consistent. Even when they flounder or they struggle on a map, they're able to come back, and they're very resilient as well, psychologically. And you're seeing that right here on Inferno especially, because they were down 6-2, and now, what is it? I'm trying to do the math in my head. 9-1 run.
Well, OG Wizard tries his hand at a little bit more of an aggressive space-taking maneuver there on Banana, but cannot do so. Propelled back, now down to 18 HP, and look how much pressure this T side is applying to this A site. Everybody pushed into the back lines of this default box. You got a player in apartments, and OG Wizard just gets shock and awed by that nade. Sonic obliterates him, and Nyx will try to fill the feed back the other way. He does pull it back to a 4-on-4, but there's still danger at every turn. Still players bearing down on this A site. Grizz and Nyx has got to do everything, and Nyx is getting spammed straight through that default box, but still, the CT side is standing pat. It's all down to a 1-on-1. It's the vet versus the young gun. Wumbo charging through the smoke, showing no respect to Captain America, and he will win it out. The audacity to be that aggressive in that kind of a scenario has to be applauded, as Marsborne stay alive just a little bit longer.
Wumbo knows no fear. We saw it on Dust2 as well, even though they lost like pretty dramatically. But still, he had that nice duel that he won, and the round that they got towards mid. And he was dueling with Sonic at that time. Either way, It is a round picked up here. Nicely done. The trades were crazy. I thought that NRG were going to gain the advantage, but I mean, nice readjustment from Grizz into Minipit, which does expose his site player. But because NRG couldn't finish off the site player quickly enough, it opened up that opportunity for absolute mayhem to explode onto the site, which led to that 1v1. And well, money's still there for both sides. So we get another gun round. We're getting the opposite of what happened on the first half of play, where we just got these scrap buy after scrap buy. Now we're getting buy up after buy up, where both teams are showing who is best in these scenarios. Nitro is going to eat that damage, but it's worth it as he finds the opening frag onto Wumbo. Freshie, along with Nyx, are still here on the scene. And Freshie's no longer. What a shot by Halzer as the smoke blows open. Nyx gone as well. NRG trying to put the final nail in Marsborne's coffin here with a 12th round victory. OG Wizard and Grizz still alive. NRG, can they afford to chase? I guess you can send a couple of players.
You should.
Yeah, the money's not great, but I think it's worthwhile because if they take these guns out of OG Wizards and Grizz's hands, their chances of success are so much lower. And OG Wizards about to fall. He does. Grim finds him. Grizz always plays pit. They know he's here. They're swarming, buzzing around like bees around him. He throws the smoke into the Molotov, and it just gives away his position. And his time on this map is numbered. He will get one, but Halzer gets him immediately. And that is it for the round. No guns saved. 12th round for NRG. And I believe that they've set the stage for a series reverse sweep.
I mean, take a bow, Nitro. It just feels like he's gotten into that flow state of calling again, and it's that pacey approach to that B bomb site that works again. I'm not necessarily sure what the util set is from the CT side, but whatever it is, it seems to me that if Nitro has at least one player that has a favorable spawn, they're going to challenge it. And the fact that they're able to still get through that round with a 3-player adaptation from Marsborne is truly otherworldly. It shows the heights of this NRG roster when everything is flowing in the right direction. And with that, Marsborne now have to defend their honor in the upper bracket with 3 rifles, 2 of them being FAMAS's. And clearly the stake odds don't necessarily follow suit, but if you do still back Marsborne, there is that weekly reload of $35 with code STAR35. You may want to check out banner below. Util damage though, looking nice for Marsborne, and they've been getting that a number of times here on that B site, but they still haven't been able to actually convert those rounds off the 5v4s.
Yeah, just too much firepower on the NRG side, and individual star power, I would say. Anyway, 122 on the clock. George already in boiler. NRG applying the pressure on the A site, but Nitro with the bomb on B tells me that, well, either he's just looking around, seeing if anyone's hanging out here, or the end result will be the B site. Thinking, gonna look for some space on A here with that smoke being tossed. Maybe George will hang around as try to find something. If we convince him it's going A, well, that's not going to help. Grizz finds the frag onto George. Halzer trapped in the apartments. Will get a shot off. It connects, but it's not a kill. I think Halzer needs to get the heck out of here. In the meantime, the main attack is going to go towards B. Util out. Fresh just realized how close they are. Wumbo saves his life, but now he's got to make up for the fact that Wumbo is lost and save the day for his squad. He won't be able to. Nitro with a wicked headshot, even down in the numbers. NRG are managed to make something happen here. A shot fired by Nitro in the dark doesn't really get a kill. Now Halzer's with him with the op. This could all be over. Right here, Halzer gets the shot on Grizz. Nitro gets the 2K. It is done. Down 2 men. Doesn't matter. Nitro and Halzer have got you covered.
Well, those are always the guys that you want in the clutch, John, and they absolutely show why that's the case. Destruction from NRG and an absolute tear